Hey there, sixth grade. Pretty big stuff that's going on today. We've been working on this scratch game, and really your scratch game is pretty much done at this point. However, one of the things that Mr. Kizuka and I think is really valuable and really important is for you to take code from somebody else and make that work in your game. So that's what we're going to do. It's kind of an extension of your game, and we're going to take your game, the one that you've made already, and we're going to build onto it using code that you procure from somebody else's maze game. So we'll talk a little bit about how to do that today, and then we'll continue through this process for the next couple classes, making sure that we can get our game up and running with that code from someone else's game. Today, we're gonna focus on doing three things. Number one, we're gonna find someone else's game that we want to use a portion of, right? That's number one. Once we've done that, we're gonna talk about how to credit them, give credit to them for the creation of a portion of the game that you've made. And then we're going to talk about how to take the actual parts of their game, put them into your game in a way that will make it so that you can use that information pretty accessibly. So those three things are what we're looking at: find the game, credit the creator, and then how do we get that information from their game into our game through a pretty simple process. So first thing I want to talk about today is here I am in Scratch, right? So I'm in Scratch and I'm going to go to my game. So I'm going to go to the folder. But today we're not going to start with See Inside. We actually want to go to the project page for our project. So if I click here on Maze Game, that'll take me to the actual project page, which is kind of the outside page where everything goes. And what we're going to do is right down here where it says Notes and Credits, we're going to include some notes and credits. We're going to give credit to whoever it is that we're using the code that they've created for one of the levels of our maze game. So that's what we're going to do there. Now, how do we find the game? Well, keep in mind, Mr. Kizuka and I shared with you this list of Scratch maze games. This is everybody's link that shared their link with us so far. So there's lots of them here, right? We can scroll through this list. We've got lots and lots of maze games that other students have made in your class. So you're just going to choose one of these maze games and then use a portion of that maze game. That's the process we're going to go through. We'll keep the link for this spreadsheet in the assignment for this week, and you'll be able to get to this spreadsheet, open up these games, find the game that you like, use the information that you want to use from this game. So this is finding the game. Again, you're going to use the links everybody else has provided with you so that we can find a game that we like to use. I've got one here that's actually a game that was made last year by a student in sixth grade last year, but I'm going to use this one as the demonstration model today. So the first thing we can see is I went to their game and I'm on that project page, right? I haven't clicked See Inside yet, and I don't need to yet. The first thing I want to do is get the information from this project page, right? Like this is called Castle Maze, and it's by this student 26NS-HI, right? So I'm going to remember that. That's important. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the link to their game. So right down here on their project page it says copy link. So I'm going to click on that, and here's the link, and I'm just going to click copy link. That'll get me the link to the game right away. So now I'm going to go to my project page, and right here in Notes and Credits, I'm going to click here. I'm going to type something saying, hey, this is how to find this person's game, right? A portion of this game was created by, and I'm just going to put a blank there because I don't remember the name. Their game in its complete form can be found at the following link. All right, so that's just me giving information about this person's game and providing the link to that game so that people can find that game, open it up, and use it, or know where this game comes from or a portion of this game comes from. They can find that person. Again, I'm giving credit for code that was written by someone other than me, giving credit to that person. So I'm going to go back here and look, and again, here's the name 26NS-HI. So I'm going to go to right here, and I'm going to rename. I'm going to give that. I'm going to write in the name of that HS dash, no, NS. That's HI. Let's go back and double check that because I'm only about 30% sure that's what the name was. So let's go back and there it is, 26NS-8-HI, 26NS-HI. That's the name of the Scratch coder that wrote this portion of the game. So a portion of this game was created by 26NS-HI. Their game in its complete form can be found at the following link, and there's the link. Again, it's a way to give credit to somebody who's created a portion of this game and make sure that people know that, hey, while I've worked on this, this isn't all mine. Somebody else worked on this as well. Once we've got that in there, we can go ahead and click our See Inside button. But first, I'm going to go back to the castle game, the castle maze, and I'm going to click on See Inside in their game so that I can get into the insides of their game and we can take a look at what we've got and make sure that we understand what we need to do to bring these games together. So here's some code for this person's game, and we can see all the code, right? We just click on the different sprites and we'll see all the code that they have for each of the portions of their game, and that's great. We need specifically to bring three things into from this game into our game. We need to bring in the backdrop, whatever backdrop they used for their maze, right? Now this game has a number of backdrops, more than one level. So I could use any of those, whatever level that I'm looking to use, I'm going to bring in. I also need to bring in whatever sprites are used on that maze level, and that's it really. So whatever sprites, meaning the player sprite and the goal sprite for that maze level, I need to make sure that I bring in as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the stages. I'm going to bring in the backdrop. So if we click on backdrops here, so I clicked on stage and then I clicked on backdrops and I'm looking, and here's Castle Maze, and then we have Castle Maze number 2, and then we have Castle Maze 3. So there's a number of levels to this game. I'm just going to use this one, which is Castle Maze. So again, we're going to bring this into our backpack. So the backpack's right down here. If I click on backpack, you can see it opens up, and I've already done this once, so that's why you can see all these things. But all we do is we take this, we click on it, and we drag it down here into the backpack and let it land. And you can see, bam, it flops right into that backpack. So there it is. Now, that's the stage that I need, but I also need the player sprite and the goal sprite for this level, okay? So the player sprite is obviously this one here that calls itself blue. So I'm going to drag that into the backpack. And then the goal sprite for this level is called Cheesy Puffs. So it's this one here. So I'm dragging that in. So you can see I've got two instances of each of those. That's because I've done this before. And again, it's not going to affect my backpack. I can delete those things out of the backpack when I need to. But I'm at this point ready to go back to my game and check out the inside and bring those pieces of information into my game. So once those things are in your backpack, you go back to your game. And from your game, you can go ahead and open up your backpack and you see all those things that we put in there, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my stages. I'm going to go to my backdrops, and I'm going to see these are the backdrops I've got so far, but I want to bring in this backdrop. So I'm just going to slide it up and bring it into my list of backdrops, and there it is. And then I want to make sure that I bring those sprites into my list of sprites. So I'm going to start with the sprite called blue and drag that player sprite into there. Then you can see, bam, it pops in there, and we can see all the code in there too. And then I'm going to bring in the Cheesy Puffs as well and bring that right in and let that fall in there. And you can see here's the Cheesy Puffs and the code for the Cheesy Puffs. So now that I've got all these backdrops and sprites in, I'm ready to take some time to bring the level that I just put into my game and make it so that it actually functions within the game that I had existing before I brought this stuff together. So I'm going to have to do some work, and I'm going to have to do some bug fixing, and I'm going to have to think about the things that have changed or the things that I've made change so that I can make this portion of the game function with the previous portion of the game so that I have a seamless game that works from start to finish. We're excited to see what you're using and referencing, and again, giving credit for in your game. Those are important steps that we'll be taking in this class. We'll talk more about it in class, but this is the basics of what you're doing. Again, finding a game, giving credit to the creator of that game, and then backpacking the materials that you need from the game and then bringing them into your game. Those are the things we're looking at making happen today in class. So hope you've got that. If you've got questions, ask Mr. Kizuka or Mr. Emerson, and we'll do everything we can to help you with this process. That's it, guys. Good luck.